let's talk about Lyft Comfort. Does it really pay 41% more
Matt here.
than standard Lyft? And Matt is here. Yes, we just talked about one of his comments, but
we just talked about Matt.
Here it is.
Here it is, Matt. Here's Matt. Matt's an amazing, three amazings. Cherry picker extraordinaire in Boston, Massachusetts. He goes, what is that 3250? Actually, you know what it is? It's actually higher than 3250 now, Chris, because they had an inflation adjustment. I think it's like 33 something now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think it went up.
Yeah,
right?
it's right there. 33.48 right there. Sorry. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So Matt says, here's a ride that claims extra pay, drop off in slow area, but Massachusetts minimum is 33.48 an hour. But I love the way Matt does that, and they just send me an email saying extra comfort rides pay 41% more in Boston. What do you think, Chad? A few hundred of you here. What do you think? Does extra comfort on Lyft truly pay 41% more than standard Lyft? What do you say, Chris? We should do it we should do a survey. You want to do a poll? No, we should do it. Okay, let's do a survey, like an unofficial survey. If you think extra comfort pays 41% more than standard Lyft, put 1. If you don't think it does, put 2. So let's see, 1s and 2s flying. So it says earning extra comfort with earning extra with extra comfort. Matt underlined beautifully and circled it here, and he proves it. He goes, math. Ride should pay $43.27, not counting the extra pay for a nature hike, because the Boston pay is $33.48, and 41% above that should be that, right? So I don't know. I don't think Lyft. I don't think you pay 41%. Is a huge number. Huge, almost 50%. I don't think so. And all the trips that I see in LA,
right. I mean, if it was a $10 regular ride, it would be, they're saying $14.10 for an extra comfort ride.
Yeah, not gonna
on average, excluding tips and bonuses.
Yeah, Algo, no. Sometimes extra comfort is cheaper than standard Lyft. So,
well, I mean, here's the thing. The thing is, you got to break it down by average. So you have to. The issue is it's very hard to figure that out, because if somebody is ordering an extra comfort ride versus a regular ride, it's very hard to compare apples to apples on that, because time of day. There's a lot of things that can influence the actual cost of what the rider is going to pay, as well as what the driver is going to make. So, I mean, it's possible that they could be making 41% more. I mean, honestly, it's if you look at it that way, if you're going to take a ride that's regular, that's a $10, is $14.10 really out of the realm of possibility in an extra comfort ride?
No, it's not. But I haven't seen it. I haven't seen 41%. I haven't seen 20%, let alone 41%. So that's LA. But Matt is
here's the thing. Don't forget, they also mark down the Lyft regular rides, so you're getting it at a discount rate now versus the what the rate should have been. So maybe it is 41% now.
Yeah, I mean, I look, I don't know, but I'm saying Lyft, I'm sure, has data, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't put this out. The writing is too small. Your eyes are better than mine. What does it say where Matt boxed it in and underlined that thing right there? What does it say there? It says Matt.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, dear. Don't worry. I got that with my beautiful eyes. Hold on. It's earning more with extra comfort. Drivers in Boston earn an average of 41% more per extra comfort ride compared to standard rides, excluding bonuses and tips. See what makes extra comfort rides different. And then on the other side, it says, Matt, as an extra comfort driver in Boston, you earn 41% more on average per extra comfort rides compared to standard rides. And that's before bonuses and tips. Extra comfort rides are tipped more often, too.
So basically, it just said in two different places that they're averaging 41% more. I mean, is this like $39 per active hour that DK kept talking about? Yeah. I mean, honestly, look, the reality is they have a lot of information that we're not privy to, that we don't know.
Yeah.
And without actually seeing the algorithm, we have to take it at face value because it is in writing. If it's not, I mean, who knows? Maybe drivers have something down the road that I'm only getting 5% more on average when I'm figuring it out. I honestly, I don't know.
You do, but you do recall Lyft just paid like a $20 million penalty for false advertising and settled with the FTC. You just realized we talked about that like about a month and a half,
Yeah.
2 ago,
I mean,
right?
so did Lyft.
Yeah, Lyft. That's what I
Actually,
said. Lyft.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
Lyft
Lyft it.
did that
Lyft
one.
it. You know, because of
Yeah.
the guarantee versus right challenge and all that stuff, right? The language was like misleading. I think when Lyft says here, they're opening a can of worms here. When Lyft says on average, that's a big number. On average, you make 41% more on comfort. Somebody will look into this. Well, I mean, we're looking into it, but somebody will look into this and go, well, you shouldn't have said that because, show us the data, show us that it's truly on average, extra comfort pays 41% extra. I don't think it does. I really don't think it does. That's more of a what do you call those? Gamification, more gamification right here. And,
I mean,
Matt clearly
it has the
identified the
potential,
problem.
but here's the reality. This is Boston, so different markets could be different. It's not going to be necessarily 41% in LA or 41% in Buffalo or 41% in Louisville. All of these different cities can have potentially different potentials. The reality, though, is I don't see 41% being out of the realm of possibility because 41% really is not that much more. I mean, when you think about it versus a regular ride is a regular ride. Extra comfort is supposed to be a little bit more extra. And so the pay is supposed to be bumped up as well, too. So 41%
41% is a lot.
is not really, I don't think, out of the realm of possibilities here.
Well,
And
we're going to find out.
I mean, why nitpick? Like, honestly, like some rides will be less than that. Some rides will be more than that when it comes to, the difference of what you would make if you had an extra comfort versus none. I think the reality that we need to really face and be talking about versus nitpicking over 41%, whether it's true or not, is
Well,
what's going to happen? Is extra comfort going to stay? Are they going to get you off of extra comfort because your car is now a year old, and they want brand new cars or something like that? So that's part of the potentiality that I see, because we all see Uber doing those shady practices when it comes to
no, they're both doing it. They're both doing it. But the point of
but the reality is 41% is not that much more. I mean, that's literally
it
about
is
the
quite a
same
bit
as
more,
what you would
Chris.
see between XL and regular. It's
No, I
not
know,
like
but
black
it is
rides
quite
where you're
a bit
talking
more.
about 400% difference. So a
Well,
41% difference is not really that much or inconceivable to say that the reality is it's probably right there. I don't really think it's not.
One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it.
well, it's not about nitpicking. It's about discovery, right? So when these companies claim things, they have claimed many things that we have nitpicked, and it turned into a whole different ball of
But
wax.
show
Right?
me the proof. Show me the proof that there's.
Well, I don't
that
have to show the
they're
proof. They're
getting
saying
5%.
that, and look, they're saying that on average it pays 41% more. I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
this is
again,
nothing by
still show.
this is nothing by a
Okay,
mind
you're
game.
saying they're saying it's 41%, but you're saying, well, I beg to differ that it's different. Okay, well, show me the difference between that. Give me 100 rides and
Uh-huh.
let's see 5%. Let's see 8%. I mean, again, 41%, I don't think is that much difference. Again, a $10 regular ride versus $14.10 that you're getting paid for on extra comfort.
Uh-huh.
I see I see that there.
Yeah, but on average, no. But I will bet on this, and we'll continue with that with this
Oh,
little
I don't have a problem doing, like, following up. I don't have a problem
because
figuring it out. And I
I
definitely
can
don't have a problem looking at it to say, oh, the average that we're finding is only 12%. You're claiming 41%. I don't have a problem with that as long as we have the rides to back it up and the proof to
Well,
be able to show.
you know how we
Other
do
than
things
that,
here.
other than
Okay,
that,
look,
you're just gotta complain up the
no,
ass
no,
to the
no.
wind.
But you know how we do things here. We start with something, and then we'll keep looking into it, and then we'll figure it out at some point. But I'm saying that in general, to me, from what I'm seeing, and you're quite correct that this is only Boston. But if you think about this, Chris, on average is a big number. Okay. If one ride comes even with standard, the other one has to be 80% above standard for it to average to 41. 41 seems like a very, very big number to me compared to standard. Now, we will dig into it. We will, I'm sure our community will provide me with all the screenshots that we need. I'm sure by the end of this week, we'll probably have 100 screenshots of trips comparing trips. But again, we don't have all the data. But what I'm saying is that this could be another false advertising kind of a thing that it's mostly, both companies do it. They play the mind games. What is the mind game? Oh, you drive comfort. It
It's
could be
absolutely
41%
possible.
more. We're not going
It's
to buy that.
absolutely possible, but the reality is, I mean, you've got to compare trips in
Well,
order
we will.
to see what's the difference. And I mean, we've seen some trips, we've seen some Uber X trips and Lyft regular trips that bewilder you when they actually show you some of the prices. Like, wow, this one's actually a really good trip. It's the unicorn that we all chase. But then there's other times it's like it's laughable at what they're offering you. So I mean, the reality is, yeah, Extra Comfort pays more. How much more? Is it 41%? It's possible. I mean, it's about the difference probably between Lyft regular and Lyft XL. Let's be real. And Extra Comfort XL are very similar. So yeah, it's about probably 41%. I'm not going to doubt it. If we have proof that shows elsewhere, and I'm talking about like at least 100 rides worth, something like that, because again, if it's on average, it's you got to take a vast amount of rides versus something where we can do like algorithmic wage discrimination, showing the difference of prices for the same trip from pickup to drop off. That's different because you're seeing the per trip right there. But when it comes to trying to compare Extra Comfort to regular, yeah, you're going to get paid more because they flat out say you're getting paid more. And it's very similar to XL, which again is probably about 41 to 50% more than a Lyft regular ride. So again,
we're going to find
see
out.
the issue
We're going to
there.
find out. We're going to find out. All I'm saying is that I'm not buying that it is 41% more, and then we'll go deeper and we'll dig it out and figure it out. So this is just the opening, shot across the bow. Because we need to hold these companies to their word. When they say something, they shouldn't just throw it out there. I'm not saying it's not plausible. It's possible only in Massachusetts, maybe, but we'll get some screenshots from Massachusetts. There's a whole bunch of drivers that we know in Massachusetts that probably can provide us with at least a couple hundred trips, and then we'll just compare and take a look at it. Matt's point to all of this was, though, in Massachusetts, there's a minimum. And the trip comes in right at the minimum, and 41%. If it was a comfort trip, if you saw the tag on the bottom, it shouldn't have paid 33 and change. If it's truly 41% more, that was his point, and that's what I'm trying to point out here to start with.
Actually,
it should be 43. It shouldn't be.
Here's the thing: you're nitpicking on one ride, and the problem with that is the minimum
that's where it
law.
begins.
No. The minimum law states that after tip, or I think what's not included, just tips isn't included, but bonuses and everything else, anything that if you make 33.48 or less, then they have to boost you up by that top off. So they could give you what they're doing with you in Uber Eats, where they're paying you 50% and then topping you off 2 weeks later for the Prop 22 money. The same exact thing is exactly what they could do when it comes to Massachusetts and any state that really has these minimum laws like that.
Which they are.
Exactly. So the reality is you could say, yeah, that's what it is based on that ride. But the thing is, if you're not taking that particular ride, or you are taking that ride, you're taking other rides, hopefully you're making over that 41%, that 33.48. But again, if they're going to be paying, if they're actually going to be actively trying to pay you less than that 33.48 per active hour, then when they're making it up, hey, 41% more is going to look like it's nothing. But the thing is, you gotta play multi
Well, it's the claim. No,
gesture,
but
not
then,
at one level.
like Matt said, you can't make that claim then, right? All I'm saying is that if you're going to top off 2 weeks later, don't make the claim and then top me off 2 weeks later. I understand. I understand why you're saying.
They're going to save 41% on their top off if that's how they're doing it. Let's just say hypothetically that you have this 33.48 per active hour. Okay, you're making, let's say, 41% less than the actual minimum in Massachusetts. Hypothetically, you have to make 41% more. That's the top off. So guess what? You would be making the exact same whether it's regular or comfort. Wouldn't matter. But if you're taking all extra comfort rides and you're getting that 41%, hey, guess what? Now maybe you're at that 33.48. You're not getting a top off. So again, it's the same thing.
No, I get that. I get that.
If you are actually, if they're going to say, hey, we're actually going to pay you 41% more than the 33.48 per active hour, well, then you have something there. But the reality is that's not how they're doing it. They're saying, hey, we have to pay you at least 33.48. If you don't do that within the 2 weeks based on your rides and your active time, then guess what? We have to pay you a top off. So,
but you're okay. Now you're missing. That's apples to oranges. All I'm saying is that that's a different topic altogether. So the top off is going to happen if you're under it. Is going to happen automatically to 33.48. But if you're claiming that on average, every comfort trip on average in Boston is paying the driver 41% more than and they're a standard trip, then you should not bulk that in with the top off part. It has nothing to do with the top off. It's just it's the two separate issues here. But I get your point. However, we're gonna, we'll get a couple hundred screenshots and compare. Out a couple hundred, still small sample size.
You can't use the minimum rate to save 41% more versus rides on standard versus or regular versus extra comfort, because it's two different things. It's apples to oranges. The minimum law is something that's completely different than what you're actually going to get paid at a rate when you're taking standard rides, when you're taking exactly. So you proved my point. And the same thing, Matt can't prove that point either, because he's looking at it with the law involved. But the thing is, you can't look at it that way because they're two separate things. One's going to give you a top off.
Don't make the claim though. Well, okay, they're making a claim that on average, comfort's paying more. Okay, let's stay with that. We'll get the screenshots and we'll figure that out if it's truly, maybe a couple hundred screenshots. And again, nothing like millions and millions of data points probably. But everything that we have done here over the last 2.5 years has started with a few screenshots. And then we always end up somewhere. And I smell a rat here. So my nose is pretty big Armenian nose. I'm smelling something here. So we'll look into this, and then, if it gets somewhere, it gets somewhere. If it doesn't get somewhere, we'll find out. But definitely, in my city, I'm not seeing 41% more for Lyft Comfort. I'm not. But we'll find out. We'll get somewhere.
Yeah, I'd rather see some of the proof in the pudding first before I'm able to make those types of claims, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.